Hello there. Welcome everyone to the Chartered Institute of Export and International Trade's Global Trade Qualifications Virtual Open Day. We'll be starting the main event in just a few moments' time at 2, so thank you for joining us a few moments early. While we wait for others to join, we'd love to hear from you. So please do write in the chat your name and organization and what it is that you like about working in international trade, or what attracts you to international trade if you are new to this area. Today's session will be focusing on our global trade and customs qualifications, so you're in the right place if your organization is involved in importing, exporting, or international supply chains in any capacity, or if you simply want to move your own career into international trade. Stay with us and you'll learn more in just a few moments. Right, so it is 2 p.m. I'll get started with the main event. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our Global Trade Qualifications Virtual Open Day. We're really glad that you've joined us for this very exciting event. If you want to learn about global trade qualifications, you are in the right place. My name is William Barnes-Graham, the Executive Editor at the Chartered Institute of Export and International Trade, which is the leading industry body for international trade professionals. We've got a bit of housekeeping to do before we get into the main content of today. This virtual open day is taking place on Microsoft Teams, which has a chat function, which we would definitely encourage you to use to share your thoughts. And we really do want to hear from you throughout today. So we're asking you to say hello in the chat, to share your organization name, and what it is that you like about working in international trade, or what it is that attracts you to international trade if you are considering starting your career in this area. So please do get typing away in the chat to let us know who you are and what your motivations are. There's also a Q&A function enabled in Teams today, through which you can type in your questions throughout the event. On the call is the fantastic Patrick Hughes, who I believe you'll be able to see on the slide in a moment. Pat is the Education Team Manager and Trade and Customs Specialist at the Chartered Institute. Pat and the team will be answering any questions you may have about our qualifications, so please do feel free to add your queries to the Q&A section. So to clarify, we are encouraging you to say hello and to add comments in the chat area of Teams, and to use the Q&A area for questions, as this is where we'll be able to reply to you directly. Now, let's do a proper introduction to the Chartered Institute of Export and International Trade. Our mission is to equip individuals with the expertise to trade compliantly, sustainably, and profitably, and our range of global trade and customs qualifications do just that. If you work in customs or international trade, this is the right place to be, whether you are a beginner or have several years of experience. If you're totally new to qualifications, you'll learn about all the options available to you. Or if you have already taken several with us, you'll learn about your potential next steps. You can see on screen your agenda for today, so that will be the next hour and a half of your time. What does the agenda look like today, though? First, we'll have an introduction to our qualifications from our Head of Academic Services, Michaela Morgans. I will then interview Anthony Franey from Royal Mail about his experience of studying with the Chartered Institute. We'll then widen the conversation to include two other alumni speakers, with Norhan Yakut from BT Group and James McGuinness of Nexus Cargo Wholesale. You'll then be guided through our qualifications by one of our tutors, Luciana Tanner. So if you're on this call thinking which qualification is right for me, Luciana will be giving you this advice. And then we have a real treat for you just after 3 o'clock. So do definitely make sure to stay on for this, as we will be hearing from our Director General, Marco Forgione, about what sets apart successful business leaders in international trade. You may have seen Marco on BBC News, Sky News, or even CNN, and if you have, you'll know how much of an authority he is on international trade. You won't want to miss his insights, and I'm not just saying that because he's my boss. So do definitely stay on beyond the hour mark to catch some of Marco's insights. Then, after Marco's address, we'll take you through what studying with us looks like on a day-to-day basis. You'll learn more about the format for your learning, what support you'll get from our wonderful tutors, and some of the opportunities you get as part of our members' community. Finally, we'll wrap up with a live Q&A at the end, which will be your chance to ask anything about the qualifications, the learning experience, or your potential next steps. Before we get into things properly, one last thing from me. We all know that global trade career paths and jobs are not always linear or easily defined. That's why we're offering free global trade career consultations to all of you on the call today. These 20-minute sessions will connect you directly to a qualifications expert on our team who will guide you through your different options with personalized one-to-one advice to help you and your team meet career goals. If you click the link in the chat or scan the QR code, you'll be taken to a Microsoft booking page. Simply fill in your details, select the right team member for your sector, and book. To get the most useful advice, we'd probably recommend not selecting the any one option. Instead, we'd suggest you choose the team member aligned to your industry sector via the drop-down menu. We will be bringing our qualifications to life throughout this virtual open day, but do take your chance now to book in your follow-up. Book sooner rather than later to secure a time that suits you. So I'm just going to have a look. We've not had too many people typing in the chat yet, so just a reminder, please do type in the chat to say who you are, what you're looking for from today's events, what you're looking for from a career in international trade as well. We'd really love to hear from you and to read out some of your comments throughout today's session. Right, I've definitely been talking long enough. Let's hear from the person who knows everything when it comes to global trade qualifications. A big welcome to our Head of Academic Services, Michaela Morgans. Hi, Mick.
Hi, Will.
Great to have you here with us today, Mick. And today is all about professional qualifications and how they can help drive forward international trade careers. Yet, before that, I'd love to know about you and your own personal experience with professional qualifications and how they helped you in your career. So, Mick, could you say a bit about your experience with professional qualifications?
Yeah, of course. So my professional qualifications have genuinely shaped the way I work and the leader I've become. My undergraduate and master's degrees are all in education, but completing the National Professional Qualification for Headship gave me the strategic leadership and confidence and skills to take on more senior roles and to think more systematically about education. And I guess it's that kind of confidence and leadership that our qualifications provide for international trade professionals. Becoming a senior fellow of the Higher Education Academy also strengthened my academic credibility, and it really deepened my understanding of quality, curriculum design, and the student experience in higher education. And I think together these qualifications haven't just supported my career, but they've shaped it. They've helped me lead with purpose, make informed decisions, create environments where learners and staff can thrive. I'm curious though, Will, what about you? How have your professional qualifications shaped you in your career?
Hey, blimey, Mick. I thought I was going to be asking the questions today. Well, yeah, more than glad to share. I mean, well, I did my academic qualifications were in things like philosophy and anthropology, and they've been semi-useful. I've learned some critical thinking skills through all of that, but I'm, as you can probably tell, I'm not a day-to-day philosopher. But working in digital content for a number of years, I did do a course with the National College for Training in Journalists in 2020, and that really helped to refine my editing, my writing, and hopefully hosting skills as well. And so yeah, that was a really useful course for me. It kind of gave me a lot of confidence with my professional work. So thank you for asking. But anyway, I'm rambling. Mick, let's dive a bit deeper into global trade qualifications. Most people here today will know that the Chartered Institute of Export and International Trade offers qualifications in global trade. But can you expand on the different types of qualifications that we offer?
Yeah, I love talking about this because the Chartered Institute offers a really broad range of qualifications, and that's for people at every stage of their global trade career. So at the introductory level, stage 3, we've got the certificate in international trade, and that gives a really solid grounding in how international business and goods movements actually work. And alongside that, we've got some specialist options such as the Export Controls Award and the certificate in excise practices and procedures. And they're perfect for learners stepping into areas of high compliance and regulatory requirements. And then I guess as people progress, we offer level 4 qualifications like the Diploma in International Trade and the Customs Practitioner Award. And they really get into the operational nuts and bolts of classification, valuation, customs procedures, documentation, all the things traders deal with daily. And then for those who want to specialise even further, we've got our level 5 diplomas, including the World Customs Compliance and Regulations diploma, and they go deeper into advanced customs law, global regulatory frameworks, high level compliance practice, etc. So whether there's somebody coming to us who's brand new to importing and exporting, working customs or export controls, or aiming for senior compliance roles, we do have really clear pathways that grow with them.
Terrific. And Mick, what would you say are the three key things you think prospective learners should know about our Chartered Institute qualifications?
Oh, good question. I think first of all, there's a qualification for every stage, as I've just said. So whether you're brand new to global trade or already working in customs compliance or export controls, the Chartered Institute's got a clear pathway that grows with you. I think secondly, everything that we do in terms of qualifications is practical and real world. So our qualifications aren't academic for the sake of it. They're built by trade professionals. They're focused on the skills you actually need to move goods, manage risks, and stay compliant. And I think thirdly, our qualifications are recognised and respected. So employers across the trade, customs and compliance sectors know our qualifications, they trust them, they value the expertise they represent, and they genuinely open the doors. And I would just add that the majority of our qualifications are regulated by the Office for Qualifications and SEER, meaning that they're recognised across sectors too.
Brilliant. Thanks, Mick. Some great points there. So qualification for every stage, everything is practical in real world, and are recognised and respected too. Finally, Mick, what are you most proud of about the work you and your team do delivering international trade qualifications?
Well, there's an awful lot I'm proud of, but I'll try and be succinct. I think what I'm most proud of is the real impact our work has on people's lives and careers. So every qualification we deliver helps someone build confidence, progress at work, or step into a completely new part of the global trade world. So knowing we play a part in that's incredibly rewarding. I'm also really proud of the standard we uphold as a team. We're not just delivering content, we're really making sure learners understand complex areas like customs, export controls, excise, importing, exporting. And we're doing that in a way that's clear, it's accurate, and it's genuinely useful. And I think that's really meaningful work. And my team, I know, take a huge pride in getting that right. And honestly, fundamentally, I'm just really proud of the heart behind it all because my team really cares about the learners, the quality, the guidance we give, the professionalism we model. And we know that international trade is a high stakes and fast moving area. So helping people feel equipped and confident is something we take really, really seriously. So in a nutshell, well, that's what makes me proud every single day.
Well, that's really inspiring to hear. Thank you, Mick, and to all the team for the caring and diligent work you do every day helping the learners on the Chartered Institute's qualifications. So, a round of digital applause, if we may, for Mick. Now, I was telling Eli earlier, you've been sending loads of messages in via the chat. My teams was just being a little bit slow. So let's read out a few of the comments coming in so far. We heard from Neil, who said, good afternoon. He works for FedEx. He likes the dynamic nature of tariffs. That's good to hear the positive take on tariffs there. Thank you, Neil. We had Lucy come write in from Wren Laboratories, who enjoys working with people from other cultures. We've got Lauren from Moog who likes there's lots to learn. In fact, no day is the same. Loads of messages coming through. Sorry, I can't read all of them, but just to pick out a couple more. Jonathan from Musgrave Food Distribution, who works in trade compliance, also says there's never a boring day working with the Windsor framework. I'm sure that's definitely true. And looking to gain further qualifications in this space. And a message from Jasmine, works as a imports compliance team leader in a logistics compliance department for an aerospace company interested in developing herself and the staff members further in trade compliance and customs skills. So a great array of responses coming in. Please do keep on typing away in the chats. We do love to hear from you all. Now, you've heard from Mick. Let's now hear an alumni story to bring to life what our Chartered Institute qualifications can provide. So, Anthony Franey is Head of Product and Service Development at Royal Mail Group and has taken our Level 5 Diploma in World Customs Compliance and Regulations. Welcome to the Virtual Open Day, Ant.
Thank you, Will. Good to be around.
Great. And thank you so much for being with us today. Could I begin by asking you to explain a bit more about your career journey so far and how you have found yourself in your role at Royal Mail?
Yeah, sure. So I sort of fell into it. My original degree is actually in psychology. Didn't really know what I wanted to do, and ended up in international customer experience within Royal Mail. That led to me broadly investigating customs issues all over the world. Obviously, this was pre-Brexit, so the EU was no issue at all. And then, of course, Brexit happened. So I was seconded into the customs team in the March of 21 for 3 months, and I am still there. So I kind of got hooked, found it super interesting. And since then, I've acted as both the export and import lead for Royal Mail Group. But since I've moved on to product development, which encompasses everything from kind of solution design when legislation changes, Windsor Framework has already been mentioned by one of the attendees in the chat. And I had a huge amount of involvement as a subject matter expert, everything from data collection, operational procedures, the way that we make declarations, the authorizations that support that, all the way through to compliance in terms of auditing, duty billing, reconciliation. And whilst my speciality is in the commercial area of customs, my colleagues within the International Change and Innovation team also deal with the wider array across the postal channels as well.
Thank you, and it's amazing how Brexit seems to have shaped a lot of careers in this industry. Whatever kind of people think about it, it's definitely changed a lot of people's lives in many ways. I count myself among that as well. Now, like many in customs, you've clearly built strong expertise through practical experience. Why did you decide to take that extra step and gain a qualification with the Chartered Institute?
So I think a large part of this all stems from kind of Brexit. We know that, of course, a large proportion of our trade in the UK is with the EU, and that meant that there is a whole new world of expertise required for it. And Brexit, for a large number of businesses and fast parcel operators, your likes of kind of DPD, DHL, FedEx, and Royal Mail, not least, was very much a trial by fire, getting up that kind of learning curve for both businesses and the wider public. And what happened ultimately is when you come across a problem, you get engrossed in it, you know all the details, you can fix it, but it also leaves you with knowledge gaps in what you've in what you maybe haven't come across or dealt with. And those knowledge gaps kind of leave you with an issue when you want to tackle something new that not necessarily that you've seen before. So really for me, it was about making sure that I had that baseline knowledge against all areas of the kind of customs and supply chain, so that I could tackle any challenge that was thrown my way moving forward.
And Anand, congratulations are in order, of course, because you are now a graduate of our Level 5 Diploma in World Customs Compliance and Regulations. Well done. What impact has this qualification had on your work and on your organization more broadly?
So like I say, it gave me really a much better baseline understanding of a multitude of areas that I hadn't really covered within my own experience. But critically, it gave me the more formal context, understanding, and the ability to articulate various challenges to clients and customers. And this can be as simple when we talk about valuation. You know, before the course, I was saying, well, you need to declare true market values for your goods. But now I'm able to look at the formal ways that a WTO, World Trade Organization, guidelines for valuation and point put customers and clients in the right direction, and let them know how it should be done, rather than giving a kind of a beating around the bush way of kind of saying it in a very informal way. So overall, it really allows me to bring a lot of professionalism and core knowledge to my role. And realistically, it's put me in a position where I've for example been the lead subject matter expert in the implementation of Windsor Framework, and we now move tens of thousands of parcels a day with formal submissions to HMRC CDS, which is of course the custom system that we use here in the UK. And we do that with a high level of automation. We have the compliance measures in place. Whenever we make a change, we're able to measure the effect of that change and assess new risks, and also whether the changes that we've made have achieved our goals. So it's really put myself and the team that I work with in a much stronger position to tackle the new challenges. We, of course, in the next few years, we have the UK de minimis going. The US removed their de minimis last year. That was a huge challenge. The European Union is doing the same. So with a growing amount of people within the team that I work for and the wider business, we're in a much better place now to tackle that than we would have been previously.
Thank you. And final question for this this particular part of the session, which is about your experience of doing the studying with the Chartered Institute. How would you describe the experience? I mean, I take as well you've been balancing doing the qualification alongside work as well. So how did you find all of that?
Yeah, of course. It was honestly, it was a fantastic experience. The tutors were always engaging, and they were keen to take an interest in how not just my job, but also those of my classmates fit into the world of customs and international trade. And it means that you can then have very honest and frank discussions, throw any questions out, and you also get the opportunity, especially in the synchronous lectures, to kind of bounce things off your classmates that are outside of your own industry. So you know, things like moving live plants around or meat products and things like that. I don't generally see that day to day, but there were other classmates and certainly the a number of the tutors have a lot of background experience as well. And to what Mick said at the start of this presentation, it really brings a lot of weight and importance to the qualification when you have someone who is giving you guidance and talking you through these things that actually has real world experience. And you can see that in every one of the kind of tutorials and lectures that's given on this. So really super positive, very flexible around kind of my daily job, which is full time, and to the extent where I've continued on after the level 5 to now do the level 7 course as well.
That's terrific. That's real progress in terms of your career, and glad you're able to do it while working as well. So thank you to Ant. It's been great to hear about your story with the Chartered Institute so far. A digital applause for Ant as well, if you all may, please. Thank you, Ant.
No problem.
I'm just going to read through a couple more of the comments which have been coming through in the chat. Thank you everyone for being so engaged with this. It's great to see so many comments. A good one here from Richard is a trade compliance manager at Palo Alto Networks who always enjoys being challenged by new regulations. I'm glad you're seeing it in a positive way, Richard. We've got Michael here from UKP Worldwide, wants to know more about what is on offer. Hopefully we are going through that today. Katia here as well, who really enjoys her job as a trading customs compliance because my day depends on what happens in the world. So yeah, this is a really important industry. So thank you everyone for the comments coming in so far. Now, you've heard from Mick and Ant. We'd like to now hear from you again, particularly why you are considering a Chartered Institute qualification for yourself and your team. So as you've already been doing, please do write in the comments to say why you are considering a Chartered Institute qualification for yourself or your team. While you do that, we're going to play a short video featuring Jack McGuinness, another of our alumni panelists today, who is the Business Development Manager at Nexus Cargo Wholesale. In this video, you'll see Jack talking to us at last year's graduation ceremony. And the annual graduations are fantastic events taking place at the glamorous Mansion House in the heart of the city of London. And it could be you there soon if you choose to study with us. So, while I catch my breath for a moment, please do send in your comments and watch Jack share his experiences of taking a qualification with us.
Level 4 Diploma in International Trade from the Chartered Institute of Export and International Trade. It has transformed my job from a job to a profession. You know, I understand the importance of it. I understand the importance of what my clients do, and it really fills me with a sense of responsibility to commit to their objectives. I've really engaged with the content, and the tutors were so fantastic at helping me to really come to terms with learning at this sort of level, explore what I was capable of. You know, I got involved with one-to-ones with my tutors. I did all the interim assignments and things like that, and helped me develop a voice. As you do that work, and especially the assessments, because you know you get some tricky questions that you have to work hard on. You learn so much about your industry just by researching the work that you're doing for the Institute as part of the course. As soon as I saw the Institute's website and what they offered, it was like an escalator appeared, you know, to another level of understanding. And I saw that as the opportunity to expand professionally.
Oh, that was great. It's great to hear from Jack there. And it's worth noting as well that all of our qualifications are designed to be taken alongside a busy international trade career. So Jack was able to keep working and thriving in his role alongside studying. Feeling inspired? Well, my colleague Camille is going to be re-sharing the link in the chat for you to book a free global trade career consultation. In short, if you like what you see today, book a global trade career consultation. It's your next step to gaining a qualification with us. By booking your consultation, you could be learning with us very soon with a summer cohort for many of our qualifications starting on May 18th. We also have intakes starting in September and January, so there are different options for you for whenever you wish to start. Let's just go back to some of the comments which are coming in. Thank you everyone for typing away. So I had a nice message here from Luisilia, who's a logistics coordinator at Xertis UK, about to start your level 3 export compliance course, and you're very excited about that, looking to develop your career in export and import compliance. Great to have you with us today, Luisilia. We've got Simon with us from who's the export sales director at Balmoral Tanks, a UK-based manufacturing company who exports to over 80 countries. And Simon enjoys seeing British products compete on the world stage. That's great. Thank you, Simon. That's an amazing number of countries you're exporting to. We've also got Akana, who is a diploma holder of the Level 5 award in trade finance, and here to see what's new considering some of the geopolitical changes going on. So some really great comments coming in from the audience. Please do keep on typing away. Now, what's coming up next in the program? We'll be moving on to our alumni panel in a moment, but remember to stay on till after 3 for an address from our Director General, Marco Forgioni, in which he will share his insights on the importance of qualifications drawn directly from his experience leading the Chartered Institute of Export and International Trade. Then, after that, you'll learn more about the practicalities of taking a qualification with us, from tutor support to your Chartered Institute membership. Now, one of the best ways to understand qualifications is to hear from those who have already taken them. So, a big welcome to Norhan Yakut, a Customs and Supply Chain Compliance Specialist at BT Group, who took our Level 5 diploma in World Customs Compliance and Regulations. And then from screen to virtual stage, welcome to Jack McGuinness, who we've just heard from on the video. Jack is Business Development Manager at Nexus Cargo Wholesale, who took the Level 4 diploma in International Trade. And we're joined again by Ant Franey, Head of Product and Service Development at Royal Mail Group, who took the Level 5 diploma in World Customs Compliance and Regulations. Norhan, if I could turn to you first, welcome to the virtual open day. Can I ask, why did you choose to take a Chartered Institute qualification, and how has it helped you develop in your role at BT Group?
Thank you, Will, and everyone. It's great to be here today with you. So I took the qualification when I was in a stage of my career. I was transitioning from an operational role in a freight forwarding company to a more of advisory and strategic compliance position. I felt the need to strengthen my foundation and gain a broader and more structured understanding of how the international trade works. And the Level 5 diploma exactly provided me that. It helped me connect the dots between the practical side of the customs, including some of the historical context, and as well the role of the key international bodies like the WTO and the WCO. So it has given me a bit of depth of understanding, which obviously in my role at BT Group, it enabled me to support my team, not only by explaining like the rules and the regulation and advising them, but by knowing the root cause of the regulation and understanding why it is being advised this way by HMRC.
Really interesting. I think just having the broader context sometimes is really important to be able to bring and kind of adds to your authority and what you can say to colleagues. Jack, if I can bring you in the interview we've just seen with you on the video, you spoke about how the Level 4 diploma in international trade has really supported your understanding of your clients' needs and priorities. I wonder if you could expand on that and how the qualification has helped you, I guess, support your clients.
Yeah, so when you work in freight forwarding, the word trade is kind of a mystified and nebulous term. Not everybody understands what it means, and it means something different to different people. Undertaking the diploma, it really helped me to explore the reasons why people trade, how they do it, and what they try to get out of it. And understanding those really quite intricate dynamics of trade help me to get into the granular needs that my client and my client base seek when they ship overseas. So it means I'm far better positioned to advise them with new ventures and streamline existing contracts, as well as anticipate their needs for speculative and future work.
Sounds like really good support that you provide there, Jack. And Anthony, just to bring you back in as well. I know you've enrolled a few of your team members on Chartered Institute qualifications. Just out of interest, which of your colleagues have enrolled, and why did you decide to enroll your team? I can't hear you, Ant. I think you need to unmute.
You're quite correct. So generally, we enroll our staff members on the level 3 course as a kind of core baseline of customs knowledge, and a large part of the reason for that is that people need to understand what they're doing and why they're doing it. You could sure just sit someone in an office and give them a process map to follow. You know, if scenario A happens, do this. If it's scenario B, do that. But then you lack compliance if you get audited, and then a HMRC compliance officer comes in and says, well, why are you doing that? If they're only able to say, well, I've got this process map and it says I need to do these things, that really doesn't kind of fly in the world of compliance. So we use that as a baseline, and then up from there, our supervisors and management team will undertake the level 5 as well. I think we currently have 2 members of the management team that have that course ongoing, with myself and another colleague having completed it already. And the apprenticeships wise, I think we've had 7 or 8 staff go through that level 3 process, all of which has been a very positive experience for them.
Really interesting. So it's both the management team and also kind of people kind of on the ground as well. So it's a real mix of people you're putting through those qualifications. Norhan, the level 5 diploma in World Customs Compliance and Regulations. Now, I understand this is ideal for already experienced trade professionals. I wonder if there are any particular examples that come to mind of where your learning has helped influence your decision making, or maybe even your risk management in your role.
Yes, I think it will not be a surprise to the attendees that BT focused deeply on digitalization. And the challenge for us was to translate the complexity of customs into a structured and digital rules framework that our internal system can rely on with the same compliance KPIs met. So what the diploma gave me was the ability to step back and to understand it's not only what the rules are, it's where they come from. So it could be like things within the WTO framework or the WCO standards. So what I helped my team to build is what we call internally rules regulations. And these rules regulations not only integrated with HMRC tariff tool, but it's also influenced by the changes in the international bodies like WTO and WCO. So, and this was like a big, it helped a lot in maintaining the compliance levels and mitigating risks, etc. Thank you.
And Jack, learners that enroll on a qualification with the Chartered Institute will also take up Chartered Institute membership at the same time. I know you've chosen to continue your membership with the Chartered Institute since graduating. So could you just talk about the benefits you value from being part of our membership community?
Yeah, of course. You know, the first and most important one is you get some very fancy letters after your name, which look very attractive to people when you're speaking to them. Always great. But more importantly, it's the level of insight and the opportunity to network and continue to develop professionally. So the Institute on their website offers a lot of exclusive knowledge about the trade world, and that's really helped me especially in recent times, you know, navigating the tariffs and current events and things like that. It helps you to keep your clients informed of issues that can affect their supply chains. It helps you to prepare for upcoming changes that may be on the horizon. And really, that's tied into the professional development side of things. So you have of course, the micro webinars such as the lunchtime learning and things like that, which help you to become better informed about changes on the global trade. And there are more in-depth, smaller courses that you can take. For instance, you know, you as a freight forwarder, you may wish to expand your operations into other territories or into another side of the business. If you're exporting, you may want to go into import. If you want to learn how to do that, then the institute is the place to go. You know, so it's really an invaluable resource to have, and it's given me a deep well of knowledge and resources to draw from to really continue to provide the best value to my clients.
Thanks, Jack. I mean, that information piece is so key, isn't it? I mean, it's one of the things I obviously lead our newsletter team at the Chartered Institute, and it's one of the things I really enjoy is being able to, you know, digest all the world trade news because there's so much of it at the moment, which is can be quite overwhelming. And hopefully, we provide some value in digesting it and kind of filtering through the information, which is really important for people working in trade and supply chains. So that's great to hear that that's something you value. A question I want to ask to each of you, which is basically it's sort of why we're here today, and it's kind of what is the one piece of advice you would give to any global trade specialist wanting to take the next step in their careers? For example, someone who has been in the industry for 1 or 2 years and wants to make a leap into, you know, their next career progression role. So yeah, what is the main bit of advice you'd give to people looking to take the next step? If I could begin with Norhan.
You know, in compliance in the early years, it's very easy to focus on execution, like processing declaration, following procedures, putting the codes in CDS or wherever you will transit or whatever your declaration you're filling. The foundation is really essential, but the real change happens when you start asking why are things done in a certain way. So my advice would be always to go beyond the task itself and try to understand the bigger picture of it.
Great. I'm really getting a sort of strategic inquisitiveness from Norhan. That's a great answer. Ant, do you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. So I think, I mean, now is really a better time than any to get into customs and international trade. If we look at the way that the world is evolving with kind of the Trump tariffs last year, EU de minimis going, UK is doing it as well, winter framework has just happened. There are more things than ever to there is more reason for businesses to look for customs and trade specialists than there ever has been, at least since we joined the EU realistically as one of our biggest trading partners. You'll find in a lot of businesses that have, that are very old businesses, where they'll have many areas of the business. They'll have their kind of senior management in post and they've been there for a while. They're probably not going anywhere. Now we've got this whole global trade environment completely changing. There's a big vacuum there, and there's a lot of space for subject matter experts to develop and grow and fulfill those roles.
I think that's a great answer. I mean, I often say whenever I'm hosting these events that it's never been a dull moment in the last 10 years for people working in international trade. And I think that sort of actual expertise and how international trade is done is really useful for businesses who could be frightened off trade by what's in the news, but actually having that on the ground experience of, you know, how to comply, how to navigate these challenges is so invaluable for businesses. I think that's a great answer as well. And Jack, on to you.
Yeah, so touches upon what Ant already said in response to your questions earlier, and it really is about the expertise side of things, because historically in global trade, you know, there is a dynamic of freight forwarders taking for granted that shippers or buyers will understand the requirements that are put upon them by regulation and compliance, and vice versa. You know, manufacturers will think that it's the freight forwarder who can tell them about it. And really, if you're considering a career in global trade, it's so important to know why it is you do what you do, to understand that trade is really the backbone of so many economies, and realize that your part in it is very important as the mediator and the facilitator. You know, membership with institutions like this, you're able to cut through all of the quite partial news and articles that really don't clue us into what's going on in the world. You gain access to that impartial information that focuses just on the trade as it is, and that is why membership and education with it is invaluable.
I definitely agree with that as well, Jack. Thank you so much to our fantastic alumni panel. It's been really inspiring, but also I think just very informative hearing about your international trade careers and your missions really to elevate your knowledge. So a big round of digital applause again, if we may, for our alumni panelists. Thank you. And it's great to see that's actually working via digital applause. It's a lovely visual. Now, Anthony spoke about enrolling his fellow team members in Chartered Institute qualifications. You will see shortly that a poll is about to appear on the screen. And here you can let us know whether you are attending with your own career progression in mind or that of your team. While I give you a few seconds to respond to that poll, I've already spoken about our global trade career consultations, and I'd like to turn now to speak to one of the team members who you will get the chance to talk to if you book a session with us. So a big hello to Camille.
Hi, Will.
Hi, Camille. Good to see you. Could you please introduce yourself and tell us what you are most looking forward to about these career consultations?
Of course. Hi, everyone. I'm Camille Lanknus. I'm the sector lead for manufacturing, defense, and aerospace here at the Chartered Institute. I'm really looking forward to this consultation because there's such a great opportunity to really understand the real challenges and ambitions of professionals working in the industry and in international trade. I'm really excited to talk about the variety of different professional options that we have and talk to all the different professionals that we have on call today and really understand their needs, what their skill gaps are, and how we can help them with their career and how to move between business areas in their seniority.
Brilliant. Thank you, Camille. And I certainly agree. We do appear to have quite a colourful bunch in the audience today. And I almost envy the opportunity you'll have to get to know some of them on the calls. So if you want to book an appointment with Camille or one of her fellow team members, follow the link shared in the chat just now. And just a reminder to stay on until after 3 for what is sure to be an inspiring address from our Director General, Marco Forgioni. As I said earlier, Marco is a great expert when it comes to international trade leadership and expertise as well. For now, though, let's have a quick look at the results so far to that first poll. So 59% of you are here looking for qualifications for yourself. So that's great to see. Great to see so many individuals committed to their own career progression. There is 8% of you who are here to look on behalf of your teams. So great to see about people looking to advance trade expertise within their companies. And a third of you have said both. So we've got quite a mix of people and mix of their needs on the call here today. I hope we are satisfying all of those different situations. So thank you everyone for responding to that poll. And whether you are booking for yourself or for your team becomes the really important question of which qualification should you choose. To help us answer this question, I'd now like to introduce to the virtual stage Luciana Tanner, a tutor at the Chartered Institute. You will be taught by Luciana if you sign up to the Level 5 Certificate in International Trade, the Level 5 Diploma in World Customs Compliance and Regulations, or the Level 4 or 5 Diploma in International Trade. Luciana is a great example of the really serious, hefty trade professionals who will be teaching you at the Chartered Institute. Luciana has 15 years of trade experience, which has included everything from serving at the Brazilian Embassy in Paris, facilitating cooperation between navies, to advising major manufacturers like GM and Renault. Luciana, I'd like to start by asking you the same question I asked to Mick earlier, and that is about your own personal experience with professional qualifications and how have they helped you in your own career?
Hi, Will. Good afternoon, everyone. So to answer your question, all my formal education has played an important role in shaping my professional identity and opening career opportunities, including the role I have today at the Chartered Institute. I've always been passionate about learning. At heart, I am an academic, and I believe that knowledge does not take space, but it lights the way forward. I hold a law degree. I'm admitted to the Brazilian bar, and among several qualifications, my highest is a Master of Law in European Law from La Sorbonne University in Paris, which I'm incredibly proud of. So every certificate, every diploma I've earned contributed to my confidence and, of course, specialist knowledge. But learning is not only about course content. It's about reading widely, researching, meeting people, taking exams, making mistakes and learning from them, and knowing that if I come across something new, I have the ability to study and learn. And I'll definitely look at the Chartered Institute courses. I've studied in 4 different countries. This is what led me to the world of international trade and customs. I've started my career in French trading companies and carried on advising business around the world to expanding their activities. And now I can bring all that experience together to support my learners as they progress through the qualifications I tutor.
It's incredible. The qualifications from 4 different countries, including the Sorbonne and Paris. I mean, what you can't see behind the virtual background is all the certificates, which are just completely filling Luciana's wall in her study, I'm sure. So that's an amazing background you've just shared with us. Thank you, Luciana. Attendees today hopefully now have an idea of what they stand to gain from our qualifications, but maybe thinking, what is the right one for me, or which is the right one for me? What would you recommend for learners who want to develop strategic and managerial international trade skills to begin with?
Okay, so first of all, our qualifications are practical, they are industry focused and widely recognized. They are brilliant because they combine international trade with the depth of customs processes. And therefore, our qualifications are designed to support professionals at every stage of their journey. So from beginners at their early stages of their careers to experienced practitioners looking to deepen their expertise, formalize their knowledge, or progress into more specialist senior roles. So we have the level 3 certificate in international trade, and I describe this level 3 as the building blocks of international trade. So it begins with the fundamentals of setting up a business for international growth, so choosing the right legal structure. So it gives practical insights into distribution channels, business planning, transport modules, and finance risk management, including insurance, payment methods that are all used in cross-border transactions. Then we have the level 4 diploma in international trade, which develops a more in-depth understanding of global commerce. So in how it works in practice. It covers how political, economic, social, and technological conditions affect global trade. Plus, it equips learners with a broad understanding of legal principles that are essential for international trade. We talk about contracts, we talk about terms and conditions and their enforceability, because the strongest contract in the world is valueless if a party in breach is beyond the reach of the law. There's also a module dedicated to international marketing, also fundamental because marketing is all about focusing on the needs of your customers. We have a module on international finance because one of the most risky things in international trade is of not getting paid. So payments are a core of what you want to achieve. And finally, international logistics and documentation module. So it looks at how goods physically move through the supply chain. So all the practical things that need to happen to make sure products reach their final destination without delays or penalties. Then we have the level 5 diploma in international trade, which targets mid-career experienced international trade professionals who need strategic, managerial, and higher level decision making skills. We see on these courses all sorts of international trade professionals and organizations, and we help export, import managers, logistic coordinators, and business expanding overseas. Also SMEs seeking entry into foreign markets, and consultants, advisors. So we're specializing in global strategy, finance, and compliance.
So we've so far covered the options people will have for strategic and managerial international trade skills. Which qualifications would be most suitable for those looking to dive into customs processes and procedures?
So, at an introductory level of customs compliance, we offer the Level 3 Customs Practitioner Award, and these qualifications provide the foundation of classification of goods, rules of origin, and customs valuation. It's an excellent course, an excellent choice to enroll team members at their early stages of their careers. And then it follows on the Level 4 Customs Practitioner Award, which covers more in-depth areas, so special procedures, advanced exporting processes, and therefore suitable to professionals ready to advance into more complex customs roles. I also need to talk about the Level 5 Diploma in World Customs Compliance and Regulations, which is ideal for people already working in trade or customs with over 5 years experience, or those who have just completed the Level 4 and want to take their skills to the next stage. What makes this qualification, so the DUCR, stand out is how practical it is. So it's about understanding how the customs world actually operates, so you can apply it directly to your day-to-day job. And to give you a flavor of the Level 5 diploma, we offer a final module where learners have the opportunities to choose a topic of their choice and write a final project report. So the project is where everything comes together. They are definitely my favorites, probably the learners as well, because it gives them the opportunities to show the knowledge they have gained throughout the course while exploring a topic they are interested in. For example, last term I had a learner investigating the challenges that some African business face when they try to export into the UK. And this term, I have an interesting one that will be about how global logistics companies are adapting their talent and leadership strategies in response to AI adoption and the workforce transformation. So I'm really looking forward to reading this one as well.
Those projects sound fantastic. Yeah, I'm sure they make for great reading. So yeah, some really interesting topics already coming through the students there. Just in terms of the learners we have on these qualifications, what kinds of learners do you see on the 3 different quals?
On the Level 3, we see junior and administrator roles in customs. On the Level 4, we see customs coordinators, supervisors. And on the Level 5, it's usually customs managers and global customs leads. So, however, we know that job titles and roles vary massively in customs. And given the variety of this, the job roles, that takes our courses, we would encourage you to book a meeting with our team, and we can guide you personally to the qualification that is right for you.
Excellent, good stuff. And I mean, these aren't the only qualifications we offer. I was wondering if you could give an overview of some of our sector-specific qualifications.
Okay, sector specific. So we offer the export controls qualifications. So these are specifically suitable to those in the aerospace and defense sectors. So it covers export licensing, dual use controls, US and UK export controls. Then we also have, we deliver in partnership with the British Warehouse Association, the level 3 certificate in excise practice and procedures, which keeps you for working in alcohol and excise. So this is an essential introductory certification for anyone working in or wishing to work in the alcohol excise arena.
Very important arena as well. And Luciana, you've mentioned some of the projects already, but you teach on all of these qualifications. Have you got any other personal stories of learners that you've seen thrive and which have maybe been quite inspiring for our audience to hear about?
Yes, I do. So at the last Import and Export show, I met one of my the learners that following the level 4 diploma in international trade. They told me they had become the CBAM, so it's carbon border adjustment mechanism. So the CBAM champion of their company. And thanks to the final assessment question that was on CBAM. And it was brilliant because he was really enthusiastic about it. And it was great to hear that our qualifications empower professionals and really drive them forward.
Oh, that's great. We need more CBAM champions in the world. So it's great to hear that that enthusiasm has come about through our qualifications. So thank you so much to Luciana. That was a really great overview of our specific qualifications. And hopefully our audience now has a bit of a better idea of what qualifications may be most suitable to their current and future needs. I can already see some of you are doing it, but another digital applause for Luciana, if we may.
Thank you, Will.
Let's go back to some of your comments in the chat. Thank you, everyone who's been typing in. I think loads of you have been. So we'll just do a few more now. A really nice message from Anna earlier, who works as export controller at Bauer Kompressoren, I think that's German, in Lancashire. They like working in logistics as you are learning every day. And they're looking to do some training in export controls. We had Christina type in, who works for Rolls-Royce SMR within civil nuclear as an export control and sanctions compliance manager. Loves working in export controls as there's no day is the same. There's always something new and exciting happening. Do not disagree with that at all, Christina. Great comment. We had one come in from Chirag, I hope I said that correctly, working in a pharma research and development company that imports and exports various products, looking to gain a further understanding of current import and export regulations and anything pharmaceutical focused. David is currently considering a qualification he has no formal qualifications in this sector and landed in this sector by chance, having taken on a trainee role initially, but has done a lot of on-the-job learning in areas such as classification, controls, US re-exporting law, maybe a bit of a lack of foundation knowledge on broader compliance and customs principles. So looking to strengthen that following a recent internal promotion. So first of all, congratulations on the recent promotion, David. And yeah, your story tallies a lot of what we hear about people coming through our qualifications, people who landed in the jobs in trade and are now looking to kind of get a more comprehensive knowledge base to help them with their roles. So yeah, really thank you for sharing that. Brennan wrote in to say exploring opportunities where he can apply his experience in international trade at a larger scale, particularly alongside established organisations and global frameworks. Thank you, Brennan, for typing in. And Liz says they were recommended the Chartered Institutes and told how respected they are by employers, governments, and regulators. The course is designed by industry practitioners and not just academics. Well, Liz, that's a fantastic message. And obviously, I think my marketing colleagues will be delighted for you saying that. So thank you for typing that in as well. So some really great comments coming in. Please do remember as well that we are doing a Q&A in a few moments' time. And so please ideally use the Q&A function to do questions, because Patrick can respond to you directly. If you do ask questions in the chat, we'll do our best to pick up on those later on as well. So please do send in your questions ahead of that Q&A towards the end. So you're hopefully getting a clearer picture of our qualifications by this stage, and you'll shortly see a poll pop up where we'll ask you what matters most to you when choosing a qualification. We'd love to know what you think, so please do answer to that poll when it arises in a moment or so's time. While you answer that poll, we've approached a big moment that we've been building towards, which is a keynote address from our Director General, Marco Forgione. You may have seen Marco on the news, sharing his views and insights as a leading expert in all things international trade. As our Director General, Marco speaks to all the key players in the global supply chain, whether that's business owners, policymakers, governments, international partners, regulators, or of course, qualified trade professionals. Marco has a unique insight into the key drivers of international trade success, and in this short video address, he provides his thoughts on what sets apart leaders who are successful in global trade.
I have the great opportunity to meet with senior leaders from across the totality of the UK business community, from leaders of global multinationals to entrepreneurs setting up their first business. And something that I've noticed that sets those successful business leaders apart, particularly those who are successful in international trade, are, I think, a couple of traits. First is inquiry. They are inquisitive about opportunities. They are instinctively prepared to take a risk. And most importantly, they recognize the value and importance of knowledge and expertise. They seek advice and guidance from those who know and have deep knowledge in particular areas. And one of the areas that they recognize, that they value, that they invest in is around knowledge and expertise in international trade and customs, which is why you, beginning your career, developing your career, participating and taking Chartered Institute of Export and International Trade qualifications, are becoming a valuable ally and a valuable support to those entrepreneurs and business leaders from across the economy who are looking to grow their markets, to build their business, and to export and build supply chains across borders. At a time when there's uncertainty, at a time of dramatic and sudden shifts, tectonic forces at play around international trade and customs, having that knowledge and expertise is an essential predicate. And it's important because by having that knowledge, by having that expertise, by having that foundation of a qualification from the Chartered Institute of Export and International Trade, you're able to help deal with managing risk, to ensure compliance, and to assure the entire supply chain. Another important aspect that differentiates the Chartered Institute from others is not just our fantastic pool of hugely talented tutors, but the fact that they come from industry. They don't just have theoretical knowledge and expertise. They've got deep practical experience of being at the forefront of delivering the professional needs and requirements. They will have stood shoulder to shoulder with you, practically helping businesses over recent years. And if you look at the prospectus, you'll see that this is a dynamic set of qualifications that show not just a progression of your career, but are absolutely up to date with the needs and demands of today. I applaud you for taking the opportunity to participate in today's virtual open day. And I really encourage you, please, to book an individual meeting with our expert team who can give you more personal guidance and advice with regards to how a Chartered Institute of Export and International Trade qualification can help and support you as you build your career. And finally, I really hope that you make the decision to become part of this growing group of committed and dedicated professionals who are helping and supporting not just international trade here in the UK, but are having influence internationally.
Wow, some pretty inspiring words there from Marco. Thank you to Marco for taking the time out of his busy schedule to film that. While that video was playing, I've seen our poll answers coming in, and 40% of you said career progression opportunities were what mattered most to you when choosing a qualification. That's followed by 29% of you saying industry recognition, and then pretty close between tutor expertise of 15% and flexibility of study at 16%. So career progression is definitely a key driver on the call here today, unsurprisingly. Thank you everyone for responding to that poll. Now it's time to delve a little deeper into what studying with us actually looks like. To help us do that, I'd like to welcome to the virtual stage both Neil Barfoot and Hayley Zeff. Neil is lead tutor and program leader on our level 4 and level 5 diplomas in international trade, and he has over 35 years of international trade experience covering strategic business development, commercial market analysis, overseas sales and distribution, and much, much more. And we also welcome Hayley Zeff, our head of membership. Hayley has over 28 years experience in membership organisations and is an expert in creating modern, engaging membership programmes that deliver real value to businesses and individuals. Neil, if I could begin with yourself, can I ask the same question that I asked to both Mick and Luciana earlier, which is, how have professional qualifications helped you personally in your career?
Hi, Will, and very good afternoon, everybody. I must say it's great to see so many of our former learners taking part today. So I graduated with a degree in business, international marketing, and commercial German. I speak 4 languages, and it was really the language element that was the key that opened up the door to a career in international trade. Languages enabled me to work with German businesses and looking for international business development opportunities. And this then led me on to diverse markets such as China, Russia, and Hong Kong, and other European markets. But what was particularly fascinating was looking at some of those Eastern European marketplaces, because at the time that I was involved with them, they were just opening up to Western companies. So it was really quite a privilege to be there. And so then these qualifications have enabled me to pursue a career in international trade, which I find it hard to believe, but it's actually spanned about 3 decades, and I must say I've immensely enjoyed it.
Just grappling for my unmute button. Thank you, Neil. I mean, I knew you spoke German, but I didn't realize you spoke 4 languages. So that's something I've learned about you on the call today. Hayley, as you are head of membership of Chartered Institute, I wanted to go with a slightly different question for you, which is, how has belonging to professional membership bodies helped shape and advance your career?
Thanks, Will, and good afternoon, everyone. I think that being part of a professional membership body has always been to me about the people and feeling a belonging to communities. And that has meant that I've had access to peers who understand my world and what's going on, who I could learn from, and definitely who have helped me grow. It also gave me some structure in my development with the training, events, and insights that kept me moving forward and helped me build confidence as I took on new roles. And also, all of this experience has shaped how I think about membership today. Experiencing the value of a strong professional community is a big part of why I was drawn to this role. I know firsthand how important it is for members to feel supported, connected and valued, and that is what I am working to build further at the Chartered Institute.
We're definitely very excited to see how that develops as well. And I think that peer-to-peer thing is really important. We hear that at quite a lot of our events down the years, that sort of being able to hear from other people going through the same day-to-day challenges and how they're navigating them is really valuable to many of our members. Neil, the majority of our qualifications are off-qual regulated. Can you explain a bit more about what this means and why that's important?
Yes, of course, Will. We're really proud of this because being off-qual regulated, it adds value and prestige to a learner's qualification because it gives the learners that confidence to know that regulated qualifications, they've got to meet a really strict standard of validity, reliability, and fairness. Off-qual and CCEA, that, by the way, is the Northern Ireland version, which we also have. And what happens is that this ensures that the qualifications are of a high quality, they're constantly assessed, and they're really trustworthy for not just the learners, but also employers as well. And it's really important from an employer's perspective because employers value regulated qualifications because they provide a real clear benchmark for skills, knowledge, and competence. And so off-qual and CCEA also signal that a candidate has met industry relevant standards, increasing credibility in recruitment and ongoing knowledge and competence.
Credibility is really important. And Neil, can you explain a little bit more about what the learning experience with Chartered Institute is like as well?
Yes, of course. And I'd like to focus on what we call the 3 Fs. That's flexibility, facts, and feedback. And so we believe that flexibility of learning is key because in the busy work environment, learners are assisted by a host of support materials. This can include recordings of the interactive live sessions. There are slides, course notes on our learning platform called Canvas. But what's equally important, I think, is tutor access to discuss individual support or maybe some additional needs. Learners are equipped with a study guide to help act as a checker, just to see where they are in the course. But very importantly as well, as an inclusive organisation, we support what are known as British values. And so we have a duty of care with respect to the well-being from a safeguarding and a prevent angle. And so learners are supported from enrolment the whole way through to graduation, not just by tutors such as myself or Luciana, by our amazing learner services team as well, which ensures a smooth running of the learner journey behind the scenes. So that's the first of the Fs, which is the flexibility. Then we have the fact that the tutors are completing or actually have completed the level 5 apprenticeship learning skills teacher. And so that means that we can bring in the latest teaching methods, which we can blend with our own real life experiences, real factual experiences to help illustrate the learning sessions. For example, in my case, it might be exploring new markets or maybe exhibiting at trade fairs. So that's the second F, which is fact or factual. But then thirdly, with respect to feedback, learners are actively encouraged, in addition to the traditional feedback form, to suggest changes through their dedicated cohort representative. Now, I think it's fair to say that one of the roles I particularly enjoy is that of learner champion. And so I report these suggestions from the cohort representatives through to our academic board. And where practical, these are acted on and reported back to the representatives at the next term's meeting in what we call a "you said, we listened" format. And so, for example, representatives felt the use of narrated feedback would be helpful. And now learners are provided with feedback and also feed forward after their assignments, commenting on what they did well and perhaps what could be improved on moving forward. So I think it's really important to emphasize that many other qualification providers don't yet offer, to the extent that we do, learner representation, which is something we will continue to develop to further enhance the learner's experience and skill development.
Thank you, Neil. That's great. I like the 3 Fs as a way of remembering that. So flexibility, facts, and feedback. Or maybe it's 4 Fs with feed forward. as well. I hadn't heard that either. So that's really useful information. Hayley, as mentioned, when learners join, they also become members of the Chartered Institute and part of our professional community. From your perspective as head of membership, what does that offer them?
Thanks, Will. I think becoming a member of the Chartered Institute gives learners a real head start. They are not just studying on their own, they're joining a professional community that really supports them from day one. It will give them access to people who are already working in international trade, a real insight into the challenges and opportunities in the sector, and also a space where they can ask questions and build confidence. It will also connect them with events, resources, and practical help that link directly to what they are learning. I think it's just being part of that community that will really make the difference.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much to Neil and Hayley. That's really, I think, brought to life the benefits you'll get studying with the Chartered Institute and within our community too. So once more, let's digitally applaud both Neil and Hayley. So we're getting towards the end of today's session, but before we wrap up, we will turn to your questions. As noted at the start, please do add your questions into the Q&A area for Mick, Neil and Luciana. If you haven't posed them already, we'll read a few of them now. We do have limited time in what we can get to today. So if you don't get to your question, or if you'd like more detailed personalized answers, please do book a global trade career consultation via the link being shared in the chat. If you have training budget to spend before the end of the financial year, book a consultation sooner rather than later, and our team will do what they can to help you pay now and secure your spot in our May 2026, September 2026, or January 2027 learner intakes. So now let's get to some of your questions. We had a question in from, trying to navigate now, from Jacob, which I think is probably best for Neil. Jacob said, I currently work in operations as an assistant and I'm attending this webinar to help my team navigate the Windsor framework and exporting to Northern Ireland. However, I have almost no experience in customs compliance and transport processes beyond the absolute basics. Would you recommend I take the level 3 international trade introductory course?
Yeah, hi, Jacob, and a really good question that. Yes, it's worth doing that course. What we would also recommend that you might do is we do run other courses that link into this through our training team as well, where they provide a full session on moving goods in and out of Northern Ireland. But we do touch that on some of our other courses as well. It's a really good way of deciding what you want to do with that respect.
Thank you, Neil. We had a question come in from Lauren, who says, are there different start dates throughout the year for the Level 5 World Customs Compliance and Regulations course? If so, when? Mick, do you want to take that question?
Yes, so we have 3 entry points throughout the course of the year. So one is in January time, one straight after Easter, May time, and one is September. So we do work on an academic year, but we have 3 entry points.
Perfect. Hope that was useful, Lauren. A question that's come in from Jasmine. Jasmine says, when looking at the qualifications sections of the Chartered Institute's website, there's options for our courses, but also the UK Customs Academy. Please could you explain what the difference is between the courses offered through each one? Luciana, do you want to take that question?
Yes, this is a very good question. So there, the Chartered Institute qualifications, the way we deliver the course is delivered is different. So for the Chartered Institute qualifications, so we have the terms starting in September, January, and May. You have a tutor that's dedicated to you. We say it's your personal tutor. We have learning sessions, so an introductory call. So we explain how the course is structured. We talk about all the units, the sessions. We talked about the assessment. And then we have all the learning sessions. So we discuss the content of the course all the way to, so you can write your knowledge checks. So we give you feedback on how you're doing, what you need to improve. For example, like if you need to improve like your Harvard referencing, has everything right, you must reference. And you can request one-to-one sessions with us as well to discuss anything you want, like course content, your writing skills, or anything, all the way through to the final assessment. Whereas the UK Customs Academy courses, they are delivered on a different learning online platform, and they are 100% online. So you start whenever you want. There's no like starting date. So the courses are structured in slides. So you learn on your own time and pace. You can request, you can message your tutor, but you don't have this face-to-face sessions as you do with the Chartered Institute qualifications. I hope I've answered.
Thank you, Thank you, Luciana. Here's a question I think I might be able to answer. So questions come in from Helen. Are the global trade career consultations free of charge? We are currently not members of the Institute. I can answer that. Yes, they are free of charge. You can book now. I urge you to do so, Helen. So hopefully that's useful for you. I had a question as well come in from Patricia, who obtained the level 3 Customs Practitioner Award in the last year. Since then, Patricia has taken on a new role as a Trade and Customs Manager in the supply chain. Congratulations, Patricia. What certificate would you recommend to obtain next? Neil, do you want to take this one?
Yes, I was hoping you were going to ask me that one. One of the joys of the different levels that we've got, you can decide which route you want to go. So if you're going down the customs route, you might want to think about it's a level 5, but it's the diploma in World Customs Compliance and Regulations. That actually is split into different areas. It looks at worldwide, European Union, and United Kingdom. That might be something to think about. So you've got some options depending on the routes you want to go.
Thank you, Neil. Next question comes from Terry, and I'll put this to Mick. Terry says, "I want to learn more about customs, but also have more of an in-depth knowledge of excise. I'm currently a bond manager at DHL." So yeah, Mick, how can Terry get more in-depth knowledge of excise?
So we have a number of different qualifications that cover this. And I think if you're doing something that's quite a bit more of a broad general role, then I would advise taking our diploma in international trade that has a multitude of different areas in it. If you're specifically looking at bonded warehousing in terms of alcohol, then as Luciana said earlier, we do have our certificate in excise practice and procedures as well. So I guess it depends whether it's bonded warehousing alcohol or whether you're wanting something more generic. But definitely I would say our level 5 diploma in international trade, also our level 4 diploma in international trade are really good courses that give you that real breadth and depth of the industry.
Great, thank you, Mick. I hope that's useful. Terry, we've got a question come in from Katrin, who says, "Which course level is most appropriate for someone who doesn't work directly in customs but works closely with customs processes or procedures?" Luciana, do you want to take that question?
Yes. So as we said, so our courses, they are suitable to people that are on the early stages of their careers as well. So if you're not working with customs yet and you are interested, you could start on a level 3. So either the level 3 certificate in international trade, or if you want more specific customs focused courses, we have the level 3 practitioner award. So do have a look on our website, because when you look at the modules, then you have the specifics of what is covered, and so you can have an idea. But it's definitely, if you're not working with customs yet and you want to, do have a look at these courses. They might be a good option for you.
Great stuff. And if I could stay with you, Luciana, for a question that's come in from Tina. Tina says their administrator completed the Level 2 Customs Practice and Procedure course last year, but this sounds maybe quite similar to the Level 3 Customs Practitioner. How much difference is there between the two levels?
It's always a question of it's more in depth from one course to the other. It also differs in the number of hours, so that the hours of the courses are delivered, and also the expectations of the time the learner is expected to put into in order to get their certificate. And also it also differs on the type of assessment. For example, in a level, I know in a level 3 they would take an assessment like it would be more like multiple choice questions, and then as they go in a level 4, it's a written assessment of for example, I tutored the certificate, the level 3 certificate in international trade. The final assessment is composed of 1,600 words. Then a level 4 is 3,000 words. So it's this differs in this sense.
Luciana, I might just stay with you for one more quite similar question. It's come in from
sure.
Carol. Carol says she has already completed the Customs Academy Level 4 certificate in Advanced Customs Compliance. How does that compare to the courses that the Chartered Institute offers? Are the levels similar, and would she be looking to do a Level 5 with us?
Yeah, definitely. She could do the Level 5 DUCA, the Diploma in Customs Compliance, World Customs Compliance and Regulations, which it's an excellent course as well. So, for example, in the DUCA, the first module covers the world. So we have a look into all the international institutions, and then the second module is about the EU. So it's all about regional customs, regulations, and then we delve into the UK on the third module, and finally on the fourth module, the learners can write a final project. And the final project, it's really excellent because they can show all the knowledge they've gathered throughout the course. So yeah, the project has to have they choose the topic, and it must be an international topic. It has to be meaningful to their job, workplace issue. So yeah, it's really brilliant. It would be ideal to following the Level 4 course from the UK Customs Academy.
Brilliant. I've never heard it called DUCA before, so that's a new acronym on me. I'll ask one last question, and I'll put this to the wider panel. There's a lot going on in the world right now, as many people have alluded to. Some of it's very concerning, just to say the least. Some of the alumni touched on this earlier, but why do you think trade skills are so important in today's landscape? Neil, if I can start with you, and then we'll just run through the panel. But Neil, over to you.
Well, as you say, the landscape is changing on a daily business and so a daily basis. So it's really important that we do have the skills. And I think particularly looking at some of the courses that we've got on offer, and thinking of things like the maybe the business and the environment on the level 4, when you learn about what's happening in the world, it makes us more savvy, more aware of what's going on. And I think if you link that to the newsletters, that you edit, which is talking about the reality of what's going on, with the courses that we have on offer, you're learning the theory as well. So they both go hand in hand together.
Anything to add, Mick?
Yeah, I mean, just touching on what Neil said, I think the geopolitical landscape's changing rapidly, as we know, not just because of current events in the world, but also, more kind of long-term political events, I guess. And I think our courses really do help people develop agility in that area, and the agility not just to know what's going on in terms of compliance and regulation, but also the agility to think a little bit more widely and to be a little bit more flexible in their thinking, to be able to apply kind of the wider sphere of the world of politics and what impact that has on trade into their own day-to-day work.
Luciana, in about 30 seconds, any final reflections on that as well?
Yes, because they're always, the final assessment question and the assessor, we will always think about something that's going on in the international scene. So yeah, and then you can search widely and apply the knowledge to these situations. Okay.
Well, we are now very much approaching the witching hour, and I will move towards ending this virtual open day. If you do have questions which you've not quite had time to get to in the call today, then do book a one-to-one, and you can through the consultation form which is on the screen at the moment. The team, including Pat, who's been answering questions in the chat, we'll get to you as soon as we can. So, to summarise, with the help of our fantastic alumni and some of my colleagues here at the Chartered Institute, I hope we've highlighted how a Chartered Institute qualification can strengthen your professional journey in international trade. If you like what you see, your key next step is to book that consultation with us. We'd love to see you soon, joining either as a learner or involving your staff. We hope you have enjoyed the virtual open day and are heading away feeling inspired by the possibilities ahead. Thank you once again to all of our speakers. But for now, from me, thank you for attending, and it's a goodbye. Thank you.